On this video, I will be again talking with my embodied language about my language enlightenment. And to address my language enlightenment is a process which requires my ongoing embodied language. And the slowing down into my embodied language, which allows me to experience my language enlightenment, is created by the words and the sentences that I speak, but which have gaps of silence. And although I know other people may have talked about this, I haven't in this way talked about it, and I just enjoy speaking like this. So since my language enlightenment is everything I enjoy, everything I find meaningful, everything I am capable of, everything that is my potential, I want to fully flow with both the language and as well as the spaces in between the language. And that's kind of like something that you can only get when you're having embodied language. Yeah. Because there are these spaces between your words, between what you say. And then if you can let these spaces talk, can let these spaces become part of your expression, you come into full bloom, so to speak. And yeah, that's what I like. And I can feel that in my whole body. And even to the point that I feel like I must not speak too fast, not say too much. Allow for the quietness, allow for the relaxation, surrender to the peace. Move into the mysterious, because this is not our usual way of talking. And I do not know where this is gonna go. I simply let it take me wherever it takes me. Right now I feel I want to close my eyes. There's no reason why at this moment I would feel that way. Yesterday I didn't feel that way. I remember that I talked about whether or not I wanted to close my eyes yesterday. And yesterday I felt perfectly fine talking with my eyes open. And it's not that I would not feel fine talking with my eyes open today, but it is simply that I feel like I want to close my eyes now. And perhaps it is because I am so focused today on these silences in between my words, in between the sentences. And as you perhaps can hear, somebody's making noise nearby with a leaf blower. And hopefully that will soon be gone. But even though it is still there, it doesn't really bother me so much. And although you are now listening to and looking at a person who is sitting there with his eyes closed, talking very quietly, I want you to know that what I am doing is not meditating. I don't care at all about meditation. I believe meditation is just a total, what is it? I believe meditation is preventing us from having this kind of language. Just like prayer is what is preventing us from having this kind of embodied language, so does meditation. So, in my opinion, meditation is a waste of time. And this way of talking, this embodied language, which expresses our language enlightenment, that is so fulfilling, that is so meaningful, so revealing, so relieving also, because it relieves us from our long, tragic, problematic, horrible history with disembodied language. I feel so good today talking with my eyes closed. It is amazing how today I all of a sudden do that. I've done it before, but today I do it differently than I did before because of what I have just said. And so, which kind of reiterates and you could say explores the importance of what happens before you stop using language. So whenever I speak, of course I use language. I speak words, I speak sentences. But how do you use your words? How do you use your sentences before you stop speaking, before you sort of fall into this silence? Or it's fall into the silence, you're basically just feeling the silence and you allow yourself into that silence. And this is also not a hypnosis or anything like that. I'm not busy with hypnosis. To me, hypnosis is also another, what could you say? To me, hypnosis is another waste of time because it doesn't bring you to embodied language. Neither does therapy. Therapy does not bring you to embodied language. It may give you a few glimpses of it, but it never really stabilizes anyone in their embodied language. Embodied language can only be achieved by someone who, like me, is sitting by themselves, listening to themselves while speaking with himself. And then, you begin to hear how you can go through the door into your silence. And that is your language enlightenment, where you can continue to speak about the silence without in any way disturbing it. To the contrary, you are just feeling more spacious, more silent, more peaceful, more at ease, more understanding of what it takes to have this peace, to live in that peace, to talk from that peace. As I am blowing out, I feel like my whole body is just filling with energy. It is so beautiful how that is. And it's not something imaginary. You can say all kinds of things to yourself, but you cannot imagine this. This happens totally by itself when you do what I say. Not because I say so, not because I tell you to do so. No, it is because you are listening to yourself. You are relaxing into your own sound. You are speaking with yourself in such a way that these silences begin to speak, that you allow these silences to reveal themselves, and that you can sit in these silences waiting for language to reappear again. Your language emerges out of the silence and then it sort of just goes back into it again. It's amazing. And it is so gentle, so peaceful, so precious. It is what everybody wants and nobody has it. Everybody is wasting their time with all these things which distract us from this. And yes, these things which I have just mentioned, whether it is prayer or meditation, whether it is your religion or your philosophy, your explanation of the reality, it all does not matter. You cannot have this as long as you stay busy with any of that. There's no use for any of that. And your so-called use for that will always get you again involved in disembodied language in which you are just hating and fighting and arguing and complaining and stressing, worrying, fearing. It just never stops. You can only stop it if your language is, you could say, mastered by you. And you can only master your own language if you dare to go into your own silence. I will now open my eyes because I feel I have said what I wanted to say.